Hey guys, Mustang here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so, as you can see from the title of the video, we are going to be talking about what we should expect for the banners for the Goku and Gohan exchange unit and the Cell that are coming to Dokkan tomorrow. So, the banners come out at a pretty weird time. I'm probably going to do another video just going into more detail about whether I think you should actually summon on the banners or not, because especially for global players with the anniversary right around the corner, there's a lot of things to go over, like, you know, going over everything that's going to be part of the anniversary, sort of like not comparing the units directly, but just going over all that kind of information. So I'm going to do that maybe as a separate video that will come out not super long before the banners. But this one is purely to talk about what the banners are going to look like. And as the title will probably reflect, the banners are going to be different on Global and JP. 99% likely, right? Because as you can see, we do have information leaked from the data download on JP, which I'm assuming will be in the data download for Global, but that has not happened yet at the time of recording. But we got the actual banner arts that will be in the game. And now obviously you can see on, although this is a bit of a weird angle, but it needs to be at this display so I can show the wiki properly in a second. But as you can see, physical Goku is on here, and then STR Kid Buu is on Goku's one. I'm not surprised that they did this. They do this a lot with returning super hype like Dual Dokkan Fests, where they'll mix the extreme one into the super like new unit banner and then vice versa, because obviously like the Goku and Gohan are going to work super well with the physical Goku, so they don't want you to be able to pull both from the same banner. They want you to pull this Goku and then go, like, summon on the other banner for the other Goku if it's the Saiyans like team that you're more interested in running. So obviously we can see here that we are getting the new unit. Then we are getting the side banner units, of course, on both banners. Then we're getting the old worldwide celebration units, which is interesting because last year, which we will look at the banner, we got the 4 and 5 year anniversary LRs. Whereas this time around, we are getting the worldwide download celebration LRs from a couple of years ago. Now, obviously, that makes sense because they fit the theme. The 5-year LRs did not fit the theme for the previous year, but these guys are on the banner. And obviously one of the big things that everybody is speculating, that I talked about in the video I put out the other day going over the potential units that we could see getting an Easy A, like, it's very possible that Cell and AGL Gohan could Easy A during this celebration. And as we saw with the anniversary, especially the Gogeta banner, tons of LRs got Easy A's and were featured on the main banners. So I wouldn't necessarily say just because they're on the banner this means that they're going to get an Easy A, but hopefully it does at least serve as a piece of evidence, because these units are quite old. Obviously Gohan is still pretty good and he's going to work really well with the new Goku and Gohan. And then Cell, obviously he's showing his age a little bit. His heal makes him useful for things like Super Battle Road. But obviously under the new Cell, he's going to be getting a 200% leader and a nice new linking partner. So even though he's not going to be the strongest unit in the world, he is going to get a new lease of life with this new Cell. So even if they don't Easy A, I guess it does make some sense that they're on the banner. And then on Goku's banner, we see that Videl is returning, and on Cell's banner, we see Tech Gohan. So, obviously, as you can see, the banners are not split into being like super or extreme. They just very much are a mix of the two. But moving on to the main topic of discussion here, as you can see, it's already selected global, but this is the JP banner from last year for Golden Week. This is the Goku one. Obviously, the Vegeta just kind of matches up opposites with the units on here. And Janemba and Pycon on Vegeta's banner take the place of the Kid Buu and Super Saiyan Goku, because obviously they are from the New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest for JP. Whereas, of course, on Global, Goku and Kid Buu literally just came out. So, I mean, it would be kind of cool, like, probably best case scenario for some people if the banners stayed the same. But, like, That's 99.9% unlikely, and definitely would be a little bit disappointing for people who actually like chase dupes for Goku and Kid Buu. When you consider that for global players, we have been very much ever since February, really, when we saw the anniversary stuff on JP, like keeping the anniversary in the back of your mind has been a thing ever since then when deciding whether to summon or not. So people who really did decide that they wanted those extra copies of Goku and Kid Buu and so did extra summons, it would be kind of disappointing if they were on these banners, right? Because technically, if they come back on these banners, you'd be able to buy them with red coins, even though they literally just went away. So, like I said, it's like 99.9% certain that they will not be on here. Now, obviously, for Global, they changed these units to Tech Gohan and then the physical Angel Frieza that transforms into Golden Frieza. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that means that they removed a Super and an Extreme unit and replaced them with a Super and Extreme unit. So that is something that's potentially going to come into play when we think about what units they're going to replace them with on the banner, because there's only so many units in the pool that we can think about. So obviously we're going to talk about these like minor characters, like the ones that aren't shown on the art, but first of all we are going to think about who is going to replace Goku and Kid Buu. So, the oldest Dokkan Fest exclusive to have come out on Global that has not returned yet is Kale and Caulifla. So, Tech, Kale and Caulifla could quite easily replace the physical Goku on Cell's banner. They don't have to replace the Super one with the Super one, like on the same banner. So, it doesn't, you know, they could just end up being on Goku and Gohan's banner for sure. But Tech, Kale and Caulifla, as I say, they are the oldest Dokkan Fest exclusive that have not returned on a banner yet on Global. They are pretty good. Obviously, people underrated them quite a lot when they first came out, but the buzz from the JP side of the game is that in longer events, you know, especially now with the red zone and how difficult it is, this unit has kind of seen like a new lease of life and is very, very good in that event. So for someone like me, I think I pulled like one copy. I got one copy of them, one copy of Kabe. I think I got them from like the discount step-ups that Global got, and then I just didn't touch that banner again. So as much as I don't use them at the moment, I did link level them. Getting extra copies of them would obviously be nice. I feel like these guys are almost a shoe-in to replace one of those two units on the banners, because like I say, they are the oldest unit to have never returned, and they have returned on JP, so it would make sense for them to be the global exclusive, I guess, if you want to say that, unit on the banner, right? Because all of the rest of the banner will be the same. If we look at last year's one, all the banner is the same apart from the units that got replaced. Some of the featured SRs change, because obviously like Janemba's on here because Janemba's on there, right? But the actual SSRs, they stay the same. So it'll only be the Janemba, the Goku and the Kid Buu that should change on the banners for Global, and the rest will be the same. So I feel like it's very likely that Kale and Caulifla are going to be one of the replacements. So next up, the next oldest one that we have returning is Super Vegeta. Now, Super Vegeta has returned on JP. He was on the Androids banner, and then remember the Androids were released out of order for Global, and Super Vegeta was not on their banner. So Super Vegeta, again, has not returned on Global, so he is the next oldest unit after Kale and Caulifla. Now, the only thing, like I said, to note is these guys are both super units, so would they just have these two and have two super units replace the Goku and Kid Buu? It's definitely a possibility. The Vegeta definitely fits the theme a lot more, right? Like if he was on Goku and Gohan's banner, that would make a ton of sense and be very good for people that are summoning, because he is on their 200% leader skill team. So he would actually be like a very good unit to pull if you also pull the Gohan and Goku, like if you didn't have any copies of him. And obviously, he's still a great unit. People underrate him quite a lot. Like, I see people acting like he fell off way harder than he did. His defense is not the best for super difficult content, but for things like Super Battle Road, he's such a great unit. Like, you don't have to run him in slot 1. Because he gets guaranteed crits, he still does good damage, even if you're attacking in slot 2 or 3. And then that not only gives you the defensive buff, but he also has that 100% chance to stun for the rest of the turn. So in Super Battle Road, that makes him very, very good. Next up, we have the tech androids themselves. Now, I checked with my JP friends, and these guys have not returned on JP. So I would say the chances of them coming in on global as the replacement for Kid Buu, right, as the extreme unit, are incredibly unlikely, like getting close to 0. This would be a huge global W if these guys were on the banner instead of Kid Buu. Because remember, on global, they came out earlier than scheduled. They came out before Trunks. So they are an older Dokkan Fest exclusive unit than AGL Trunks, who has returned on global, on JP already, because he's on the Raditz banner. But like I said, the tech androids have not returned on JP, so it feels very, very unlikely that they're going to return on global before A, they've ever returned on JP, and then B, it's not really a huge amount of time since they came out, which means the gap between them coming, like first releasing and coming back, would have been way shorter on global than it is on JP, which is not usually a thing that they do. Now, if they do that and he replaces Kid Buu, this would be a massive W, and it would kind of make sense with what I was saying before about how they want you to summon on opposite banners, because if this was the tech androids on global, they are on Cell's 200% team. So if you summon on this banner and you pull the tech androids and you didn't have them, that gives you more incentive to summon on this banner, so then you can run them on a 200% team. So I do think it's very, very unlikely, but it would be a huge win for global if these guys were on that banner. So next up we have the AGL Trunks himself. So like I said, he has returned on JP on the Raditz banner, so there is the potential that he could be an option here. I think we're starting to veer again into the more less likely options, because Trunks is not that old on global, has obviously not returned. He is on Goku and Gohan's 200% team, so again, he would be another really good option. And now, imagine how crazy it would be if the banners were like the androids replacing Kid Buu, and then this guy replacing Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Goku on Cell's banner. Because then, just like I said with the androids, the opposite banner has the 200% leader for them. So I feel like that would encourage people to summon, which, when you consider the anniversary being right around the corner, and global players having that really tough decision of whether to summon or not, that would make the banners, like, way more valuable if Trunks and the androids were on. And then, like I said, if they're on the opposite banners to their 200% leader, that's going to encourage people to summon even more. But just like the androids, I do think it is a very unlikely option. And then this guy... Now, he came back on the Saiyan Day banner, because obviously the previous Saiyan Day unit always returns on the Saiyan Day banner. But I highlighted this guy because, in terms of recent Dokkan Fest exclusives, he's kind of like the only extreme one that I could see returning to replace Kid Buu, if they are going to replace Kid Buu with another extreme Dokkan Fest exclusive. Now, obviously, he's kind of a weird choice. He's not on the teams for either of the new units. He's not on any of the categories for their leader skill. So he definitely is an odd choice. But, I mean, I guess neither is Videl, right, on Goku and Gohan's one, I'm pretty sure. So that doesn't mean that, he can't be on the banner. So I feel like he is going to be the replacement for Kid Buu, which, I mean, he's a great unit, right? I say it all the time. I made a video about it. I think he's the most underrated Dokkan Fest exclusive of 2021. I still think he's really, really good. Once he gets a 200% lead, I think people are really going to start seeing his value again in those longer form events because of his stacking. So once he gets a 200% leader, I think people will see again just how crazy good he is. But I do very much feel like he is going to replace Kid Buu, and then Kale and Caulifla are going to replace Goku, and that is the Super and Extreme units being replaced with another Super and Extreme unit. Now, in terms of the other SSRs, some of them fit the theme and some of them didn't. I mean, like Goku. I mean, this Goku obviously had a Goku family lead, and Vegeta had Vegeta family. So the Super Saiyan 2s do kind of fit, I guess. And then obviously Full Power Super Saiyan 4 fits with the GT theme. So I brought up the Android/Cell Saga category just so we can have a quick look through. But, like, man, it is tough to think, like, which Dokkan Fest exclusives could we see? Because remember, these banners always have older units like, I mean, this Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku doesn't even have an Easy A. So I could quite easily see, like, Int Future Gohan, because, again, he's on the 200% team, so he's not necessarily a terrible choice. But, like, look how few options we have from Android/Cell Saga. So it could just be some random older Dokkan Fest exclusive that's got nothing to do with the theme. But I wanted to look at Android/Cell Saga just to see what we had to choose from. But, like, Maybe Piccolo, I guess. Although I feel like Piccolo, as I said in that previous video the other day, he could get an Easy A, so then he would have his own Easy A banner. Future Gohan, I guess, could be. And the fact that he has an Easy A and is really good and is on Goku and Gohan's 200% team. So he would be a pretty great option as one of the older units. I don't know if they would stray away from units that have Easy A's because they're obviously way more valuable. Like when we look back at this banner, like none of these three had Easy A's at the time. I'm pretty sure you didn't have your... No, you didn't. These three did not have Easy A's at the time. So I don't know if that means they would put Easy A units on as the other units. We could get older Easy A units like STR Cell or Tech Cell. Because remember, they are going to be on the new Cell's 200% leader skill. Or even Int Cell. But all three of them, even though they are Easy A units, are super old and kind of outdated. I guess we have... no, the future androids aren't Dokkan Fest exclusive. There's like no extreme... Dokkan Fest exclusives that we haven't already talked about. So the banner's kind of slim pickings. I feel like we are going to get some really random units that are not really related in any major way, other than maybe, like I say, in Future Gohan, maybe these older cells. So let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think the other featured SSRs will be? And then obviously for Global, who do you think is going to replace Kid Buu and Goku? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Keep an eye out for that summon or skip video. It's going to go into like the JP like options, of course, as well. But, you know, a lot of that is going to be focused around Global with the anniversary information and stuff. But even as a JP player, make sure you check it out. I'm very interested to know your thoughts on whether you guys are going to summon or not. But let me know over on that video. On this video, just let me know who do you think is going to replace Goku and Kid Buu. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.